chases have long been a staple of action movies. They seem to have reached their peak lately in The Fate of the Furious, the latest chapter in the Fast and the Furious franchise. Car chases have evolved a lot over the years. Here are the ones that innovated and set new standards for how to make an amazing chase sequence. Buster Keaton was best known for his madcap chases, like in 1924's Sherlock Jr., which involved cars, trains, and a motorcycle with no driver. It was very innovative for its time. For instance, a shot in which Keaton almost gets hit by an oncoming train was actually shot backwards. Keaton, meanwhile, did all his own stunts. In 1968's Bullitt, Steve McQueen raced through the hilly streets of San Francisco. The cars often reached speeds of 110 miles per hour. Filming took 3 weeks and in the end produced a chase that is just under 10 minutes long. The chase ends right outside the city and takes full advantage of the Bay Area's crazy geography. 3 years later, the French Connection took it to the next level. During the film's most famous scene, Gene Hackman, playing Popeye Doyle, goes after an elevated train in Brooklyn. Many of those crashes you see are completely real. The film would go on to win the Oscar for Best Picture. Not every chase has to be terrifying. The mall chase in 1980's The Blues Brothers showed that in the same vein as Buster Keaton, some of the best chases are the funniest. Producers rented out an old shopping mall in suburban Illinois and left it in complete ruin. As these movies and the Fast and the Furious franchise show, all the best car chases are filmed not in front of a green screen, but rather out in the real world. Hollywood has faltered a bit when trying to completely CGI car stunts. The car crash in 2001's Along Came a Spider was probably meant to be terrifying, but in reality, it's unintentionally hilarious. Rather than relying entirely on CGI, the best action films these days use it to sweeten and enhance practical stunts and effects. One of the best chases ever is in 2006's Children of Men. The whole chase consists of a single shot lasting around 4 minutes. They built an innovative rig to capture all the action in a small space without resorting to a green screen. It was nearly impossible to film. You'd never know from watching that CGI was used to ensure continuity. Most of the best chases in recent memory come from Mad Max Fury Road. Director George Miller shot the breathtaking apocalyptic car chases in the deserts of Africa. Most of those cars were really there. Many of those explosions actually happened. Post-production was used as a chance to touch up the edges a bit. This brings us back to the Fast and the Furious series. As the movies have grown in popularity, their budgets have grown and so has their ability to pull off some insane stunts. Watch how this tank emerges from a truck in Fast and Furious 6. With Fate of the Furious, they had the freedom to throw a pile of cars off a 6-story parking garage. They also got to race in the streets of Havana, becoming the first major American film to shoot in Cuba. The climactic action scene, the new film's most ambitious, was actually filmed in Iceland. Those explosions you see are real. They really did sink a Lamborghini, but they also used their imaginations a bit, because how else did you expect for them to get a giant submarine in there? From the 1920s up to today, the best chase scenes continue to innovate. They combine a filmmaker's magic touch with whatever vehicles they can crash. If only Buster Keaton and Vin Diesel could have faced off in a street race. What's your favorite chase scene? Let us know in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe.